It's time to spin the wheel. Hey there, it's Mitzi. Welcome to my channel. So today I want to spin the wheel for my book cart. Y'all, I love spinning the wheel. I don't know why, but I love just hitting that button and seeing what I'm going to get. I don't know, it's like Christmas. But I have a book cart full of books that need to be read. And so I've decided these books do not fit any sort of readathon or reading challenge that I am participating in. These are just books that, well, I don't even know why they're here. And so I want to get these books read. So every month I'm going to spin the wheel for 2 books. So last month the 2 books were In Another Girl's Shoes by Berta Ruck and Washington Square by Henry James. Now I have read another Henry James and I didn't really like it. It should have been What I Would Love because it was Gothic fiction. I love Gothic fiction. It was written in the 1800s, so it just sounds like something I would, and there was an old house, all those things that you would think would be right up my alley. But the way that he told that story was just a little confusing for me, and I didn't like it. And I tried reading it. I read it, but I tried it 2 different times. I reread that book. After I read it the first time, I went back and read it again later on, still didn't like it. So I wasn't too sure if I was going to get along with Henry James, but I'm glad I picked this one up because I did enjoy this one called Washington Square. This one is not very long. I don't think the other one was that long either. But this one was not very long and it's totally different. It's not Gothic fiction at all. It's more of just a drama about this girl and her father and aunt. And they live in New York City. They're high society, or they're trying to be high society. And the father really wants to tell her what to do. And the aunt wants to tell her what to do. And the young girl wants to be loyal to her father because she loves him. But she falls in love with this man and she's torn between the two. So that's what the basis of the story is. The story, though, is really about choices and our family interfering and, that kind of thing. There's a lot about money involved in it, and does the suitor really love her, or does he just want her money, that kind of thing. And the dad is convinced that he just wants her money, and the aunt is convinced she should marry this man because she thinks that's her only chance to get married. So there is a lot more to the story than that. I know it's not that long, but it is pretty tangled. It is a tangled web of a story. And I found it to be a page turner. I enjoyed it. It reminded me of one I read last year called Summer by Edith Wharton. Now, I think Edith Wharton and Henry James it's very similar in their style of writing, because that story really reminded me of the way this story's told, and even the tone of the story, the feel of the story, the topics that are involved in the story. I don't know why, but they are very similar. So if you like Edith Wharton's writing, now I've only read that one Edith Wharton. If you've read Summer, if you like her writing, you may enjoy this one, Washington Square. But I am glad that I picked this one up. And then the next one was In Another Girl's Shoes by Berta Ruck. This one I didn't enjoy quite as much as the other, and I thought this was going to be like 5 stars. When I started it, I thought this is a 5-star read because it is While You Were Sleeping. Have you ever seen that movie, While You Were Sleeping? It's an old movie. I love that movie. I can watch it over. It's one of those that I can just put in and watch over and over. This is the premise. This book, I don't know. When was this book written? I'm not sure. I think the early 1916. This book was published in 1916. And whoever wrote While You Were Sleeping had to have read this because this is so much that. But, I mean, it's not exactly, because it's about these 2 girls. They're on a train and they're both headed to new lives, basically. One of them is like this famous superstar kind of lady, and she is a war bride, and she is going to meet her late husband's family. They've never met her, and that's where she's going, but she doesn't want to go meet them. And then the other girl is going, she feels like she has no choice but to go be this governess in this other place. And so she feels like she needs a change. But the girl that is the war bride, because she doesn't want to go, she tries to convince the other girl, I think her name's Rose. Yeah, Rose. She tries to convince ordinary Rose to go pretend to be her and meet this new family. And she kind of finagles her into doing that. Now, it's a lot more to it because Rose does not want to go lie to these people and deceive them. But she ends up going because of some confusion, which is what happens in While You're Sleeping. If you've seen While You're Sleeping, he is hurt on the train tracks and he's in a coma, and so she tries to see about him. And at the emergency room there is a mix-up, and they think that she is his fiance. So it's the same kind of idea. And a lot of this book is a lot like it. That's all I have to say. The premise, they had to have read this because it is a lot while you were sleeping. So if you might enjoy it for that reason. The only reason I didn't enjoy it that much was, now I know While You Were Sleeping is not plausible. I know that. But it works in that movie. It didn't quite work in the book. The way that it's described in the book was a little too far-fetched for enjoyment. I'll just say that about it. I didn't really like the writing style of this. I think that was the biggest issue, and it was just too far-fetched the way it was told. But I do love While You Were Sleeping. I love that idea, and that is what this book is about. So you might want to pick this one up too. So those two books are the books that I chose, well, the spinner chose from the book cart. So I'm going to spin for 2 more books from my book cart for September. Now, I did make a change. I have been blessed lately with a lot of new books by you and my family. So thank you to all the people who are sending me these surprises in the mail, because it's fantastic and I love it. Because of that, though, I want to get to those books first. If you gift me a book, I really want to get to it. So what I've done is I rearranged the books on my book cart, and I have the books that have been given to me recently over the past few months that I could think of that were given to me recently. I put on this top shelf on my cart. And so bookshelf number 1 is going to be a spin no matter what, because I need to get those books read. I feel like I really need to get the ones gifted to me read first. So that's going to be my first spin every month from now on until I get those books read. And then I will spin for the other 5 shelves on the book cart. I hope that makes sense. Okay, so we're going to go spin the wheel and see what I'm reading for September. So this top shelf are the gifted books, and so I want to make sure that I choose one of those every month to read. I think this is going to be a better way to utilize this cart. So I'm going to spin for one of these first, and there are 13 on this first shelf. So let's spin. Number 11. So that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yay! So this is one that my husband just gifted me, Thursday's Child. So that will be my first pick from my book cart, which is the first shelf, which is the gift shelf. So now that I have chosen from this one, I've got shelves 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and we'll spin for that shelf. Shelf 2, so that means I need to choose from this one. So I just counted, there's 17 on this shelf. So let's spin. I put in 17. And it is number 4. Number 4. You see that? Oh, yay! So number 4 is You Don't Know Me by Susan May Warren. I love this cover. This is the perfect time to read this one too because it is a fall cover. So I can't wait to read that one. Okay, so the spinner chose for September Thursday's Child. And this one my husband gave to me in August. So I'm excited about that. And then You Don't Know Me by Susan May Warren. This I wanted to read last year. This is perfect because it has this beautiful fall setting. So I'm excited about that. I hope it is fallish because that's what the cover looks like. On the back it says, the secret she's kept to protect her family could be the very thing that tears them apart. So it must be a suspenseful romance. And I'm all for it based on the cover of this book. Let me know if you've read either one of these, either Thursday's Child or You Don't Know Me. Let me know in the comments if you have read one or if you're interested in reading one of these. Let me know that too. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon.